Now then, do you want to talk about it?
I am aware of the facts. You went off on a train to spend the weekend with that dreadful man you're in love with, and you pulled the communication cord before the last carriage had time to leave the station. I suppose you are thinking to yourself, what does she know about anything? Sitting there in her ancient nightie with her elastic knee bandage and lanolin all over her face. Well, my answer is that by the time you reach the stage where you wear an ancient nightie, an elastic knee bandage, and enough lanolin on your face to lubricate a tractor, you do, in fact, know everything. I have to say I have only spoken to the young man telephonically, but my observation is that I would never have pulled the communication cord because I would not have got on the train in the first place, but that is your choice. Are you, in fact, looking at me, or have you gone to sleep with your eyes open? Oh, good. You are severely grief-stricken, but you haven't, in fact, died from it. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, then. Perhaps when I've gone, you'll have a word with him. The advantage of that being that, unlike me, he can hear your thoughts, so you don't have to do anything energetic like moving your lips. Night-night, then. Borrowing the words of Dora, just another shitty day in paradise.
Hello, Hetty. You all right? Keeping Lena company? Hello, Lena. How are you feeling?
Maybe she wants to be on her own. Oh, I didn't mean that personally, Hetty. Oh, these are really nice. Aren't they really nice?
Lovely. Really nice.
Who's she letting for a long-legged wasp?
Okay, Lena, so you ballsed it up. It doesn't matter. What does it matter? He'll ring again.
Maybe it was just meant to be.
Maybe you pulled the communication cord because you knew it was going to be a disappointing weekend anyway.
Maybe it was fate. Maybe he won't ring again. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be, and it wasn't fate, and you pulled that communication cord because you're stupid. Oh, you a cup of tea?
Really drink Earl Grey?
It is Earl Grey.
Oh, let's turn this music off, for goodness sake, otherwise we'll be in there with her.
It's not my cup.
Oh, for God's sake. Earl Grey in a china cup.
One has to keep one's standards, even in times of despair. Oh, put it over there. Someone can dye the curtains in it.
Look, Lena, Dora's chat went off with her best friend, but see how philosophical she is. You just shrug your shoulders and move on. You come to terms with it, like Dora.
She's right. I'm over it, no problem. All I want to do now, basically, is cut the bastard into little pieces.
Anyway, yeah, it's our weekend.
Why, what happened?
Nothing.
Mine was a disaster. I decided to try and get romantic with Gerald.
Well, super.
Put on my diaphanous nightie and lay on the bed with all sorts of horror abandoned. Out he came from the bathroom. Black socks, sequin posing pouch, hairy legs, frizzy chest. Could have been the mating season of the giant moth. So much of an aftershave he was, and by the time he got to the bed, I was gasping for all the wrong reasons.
You see how funny it is?
See how funny and silly it all is?
You got to laugh, haven't you?
Yeah, you absolutely just have to laugh. Are you going to eat that yogurt or use it as wrinkle killer? Oh, Hetty, for God's sake, let me butter that. You look like a bird table.
You don't like men, do you? I suppose that's because you've had bad experiences with them. Whereas I have been well loved in my time. There was Camberley Jason Piers, the stockbroker. Marcus Chiver, the lawyer. Bentley Adams, the market gardener. Lord Kilmartin of Dumfries.
How about Uncle Tom Cobley? Didn't he fancy you as well?
And there was that handsome young office clerk who used to wait outside the big gates of the house. Daddy had him shipped off to an oil rig somewhere.
Do you think I could talk to Daddy about Gerald?
It was all going to be so wonderful with Eddington. I had even decided to take your advice and behave like an abandoned slut. I wish I could be different.
Well, we can't, can we? That's why we're here.
I'm convinced I only steal because basically I want to go to jail.
I want to be trapped and deprived and unhappy, the way I am now, only without Gerald.
One of the reasons I keep throwing myself out of windows is because my elder sister always got all the attention. Well, she's prettier than me, and she doesn't have to wear a bra. They kind of do a subtle dance beneath her T-shirt. I have to keep mine under control with a lift and separate device. Anyway, a nice ride in an ambulance with the blue light flashing and some gorgeous doctor gripping my pulse might make up for it.
Supposing you kill yourself one day.
Can't have everything, can we?
I've gone off the whole human race. That's why I stopped trains. I like to inconvenience them. I like to see their faces when their thoughtless, selfish lives are disrupted.
I've gone off men. They go waving their penis around like someone conducting the Philharmonic. And they expect us to feel like the lead violinist when they point it in our direction.
I'd quite like that part of their anatomy, if only it was attached to something more interesting.
Returning day. Good morning, all jolly and uplifted, are we?
Yeah.
Lena, I've just had a call from Railtrack. Apparently you created havoc on their network computer.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Tilson. I don't know what came over me. I was just saying I was all set to have a lovely weekend with Eddington.
Yes, well, he has curious ways of guiding us, and that was his way of stopping you indulging in a dubious weekend. It's bad for your soul and it ruins your skin. Now, whose turn is it to do the washing? Millie?
Oh, I can't use that machine. It ruins everything I put in it. Must have been crossed with the giant blender.
Yes, well, it will do that if you put in your fragile underwear and then press the button marked kill.
I'll do it. It's my turn anyway.
Thank you, Dora. What an uncomplicated girl you are. It's your turn to make the dessert, Chauncey.
I'll do that one.
Do you think we could have a preview? Then we can warm our stomachs.
Rhubarb crumble?
Will the crumble crumble, or will you be serving it with a road drill?
I'm very good at crumble.
Last time you did wouldn't let go of the oven. It's strange, is it not? 5 girls and none of you can cook. I can understand Lena, of course, because she grew up with nannies and butlers and chefs and a 4-door Argo.
I have never liked the so-called art of cooking because there's no point to it. I mean, what would Leonardo da Vinci have thought of the moment he put down his brush? Someone ate his Mona Lisa.
He was a man, wasn't he? Not that I'm against men, heavens no. I will concede they make a meagre contribution to our existence.
Did she say meager or mega?
In her case, I think it was meagre.
He, however, is constant. I do hope that you remember to pray each night and morning, and that when you do, you don't nag him about the dark corners of life. Thank him. Thank him for your breath and your sight and your limbs and your energy. After all, fate could have it that any one of you could walk out of this house and end up lying under a corporation bus with not a thought in your heads. In fact, in some cases, a corporation bus might not be necessary.
God, she's a jolly little soul, isn't she? Doesn't she ever have an off day?
She's too busy looking at the rainbow to notice the sodden great hurricane belting up behind it.
He didn't even ring to see what had happened. I wish I were dead.
Oh, come on. You're not going to let a man do this to you, are you?
Especially not one with a name like Eddington.
It's not just a man, is it? It's marriage. It's a home, a garden, children, Labrador. Sex. By that I mean love.
All I got was the sex.
Then he was the wrong man.
Well, she's had 3 of them. The odds can't be that bad.
Oh, I quite like a knight in shining armour to come galloping my way.
Gerald must have seemed like that once.
Gerald came along on a very tired old donkey. His shining armour was a plastic anorak, and instead of a spear, he carried a set of darts.
Why did you...
I've no idea. When I get up there, it's going to be the first question I ask.
Come along! Lunch and washing, please, and I want one of you to do a little polishing in Mr. Carter's office.
I'll do that.
Thank you, Chauncey.
Well, you've all got things to do, so I'll do that.
Right, that's settled. Come along, up and dashing, up and dashing.
Must be strange to be like her. Untouched by life, unharmed by man. She must lie in bed at night and wonder what it's all about. Like a parrot that's never had a peanut.
Maybe she's frigid.
I would think so. I'll bet you there's more pack ice in her knickers than there is in Asda's freezer.
My wife and daughter.
I'm sorry, I was a bit being nosy.
That's all right. Photographs are for looking at.
Yeah, well, I've finished now anyway. There's just the flowers.
That's all right. I'll do those.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll go then. Bye.
Bye. I knew you were here.
I volunteered. The others were busy.
I know. Why are we playing this game?
What game?
This, you looking at me looking at you. Why are you flirting with me?
Flirting with you?
I do know when I'm being flirted with.
You're a bit smug, aren't you? Why would I be flirting with you?
That's precisely what I'm asking.
Do you know what I think?
No, but I sense you're going to tell me.
I think you are a...
You seem to be having difficulty describing me. Perhaps I can help it. Handsome? No. Mysterious? No. Sexy and desirable? Definitely no.
You are a smug, conceited, self-opinionated wanker. Do you know that?
It hasn't actually been put to me that way, no.
Well, perhaps your wife is too polite to tell you, or maybe she's afraid, or perhaps she doesn't know what you're really like, or
perhaps she's dead.
I'm sorry. For your wife, I mean. To be married to you and then to die, nobody deserves that much bad luck.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Getting back to where we were, you've forgotten to empty the bin. You will take into consideration my 2 capped teeth, won't you? The bank still owns one of them.
What do you think? £3 at the car boot sale. What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Pull yourself together, Millie.
Oh, well, I suppose as I unfold bits of the real seductive me, there's bound to be jealousy. What's love got to do with it?
Honestly, Dora, I am sorry about me and Duncan. I wouldn't normally do this to anybody. Honest, I wouldn't. But it was love at first sight. It was like a train hitting the buffers.
All right, don't go on.
And I didn't go to bed with him for 3 days. I mean, whatever way you look at that, that's 36 hours of simmering, isn't it?
Thanks for the biscuits.
I would have brought you the new ultrafine porcelain face pack that sits in your skin like pollen, but I thought, no. Dora doesn't bother about trivial things like skin. Tough as an old crocodile, I thought. So I brought you the biscuits.
I'd like to see Duncan.
Well, I says to him, go and see Dora, I says, explain things to her. But you know what he's like? The only way he can face anybody's when he's bonking them.
He's not like that.
I bought this. It's the latest face blusher. It glows in the dark. Femme fatale, it's called. Sounds French for an accident.
I'd like to see Duncan. Will you tell him that? I don't want a phone.
Oh, and another thing. Have you noticed how thick and shiny my hair is now?
No.
Shampoo called Folliculary. It's made from the follicles of animals' fur and bits from their stomach. No exactly environmentally friendly, but it's them or us, isn't it? And this eye pencil makes small, tired eyes look round and young. So I bought you one.
Oh, stop it! Who wants the bloody biscuits anyway?
And it's waterproof, so it doesn't come off when you pretend to cry.
You look tired, Chance. Are you getting enough sleep?
If she looks tired, it's obvious she's not getting enough sleep, isn't it?
Well, you can look tired, Conrad, even if you're not.
Well, she must be ill then, mustn't she?
Well, you can look tired and ill, even if you're not tired and ill.
If she's not tired or ill, but she looks tired and ill, what is making her look tired and ill then?
She could have been crying.
Then you should have said, you look tired, Chauncey. Have you been crying?
She's gone.
I know she's gone. I can see, can't I? If she's not there, it's obvious that she's gone, isn't it? It's typical. You bring them up decently, give them a nice, happy home, ruin them with kindness, and this is what you get for it.
I've been meaning to say this to you, Gerald. The truth is, you don't really notice me, do you? I mean, I've changed my whole appearance and you haven't said a word. You don't say I like your hair or I hate your hair. I wouldn't mind, Gerald, as long as it showed you'd noticed something. I am a woman, Gerald. I think I've told you that before. I need words of encouragement, Gerald, words of praise. It isn't easy to thrust your chest at the world at my age and unravel the mystery of your knees. You never say ordinary, everyday things, Gerald, like, you're beautiful. Why, Gerald? Why'd you never say you're beautiful?
Because you're not, are you?
Good afternoon. How nice to see you all. And as usual, like the good shepherds you are, you have come once again to the fold to tend your black sheep. I have for your enjoyment tea, coffee, sandwiches of quality and cake made by my own fair hands. Please put your money in the tin marked money, your litter in the bin marked litter, and leave in orderly fashion through the door marked exit. I say this because last week most of you went through the door next to it and ended up embedded in the hot water system. Thank you. I don't know why I let them in.
Oh, my God.
Now be calm, everybody, be tranquil. We've seen it all before and we know what it's all about. Are you all right, Dora, my dear? I'll call an ambulance. Wait here. Ah, that's better. Can you get up, do you think?
I'm all right. I'm just fine.
Of course you are. You must learn not to be so dependent on people, Dora, especially a man. And you must also learn, when you choose a best friend, to make sure she's ugly.
I hate him. I hate everybody.
Well, that's that out of your system. Up you get.
Don't do this to yourself, Dora. They're not worth it, love. I lost 2 stone once over a man, and all it did was make me look like his mother.
Someone help her up. Oh, do stop dribbling, Dora. You'll put everybody off their lunch.
I'd like to be dead. Do you hear me? Dead. Away from it all. With him.
Well, you can't do that, I'm afraid. You can't just go barging in up there. You have to wait until you're invited.
I'll jump from the roof next time.
Yes, well, you'll have to make a better job of it, won't you? I mean, I can't see where you actually jumped from. Unless, of course, you close the window behind you.
Right. We seem to have a few problems to sort out, don't we? Sorry about this. Shaving.
What does he use, a bloody scythe?
Dora, perhaps you'd like to discuss your dilemma first?
No, it's all right. I can handle it. No sweat.
And you, Lena. Would you like to talk about your problems, or would you rather not?
Well, I stopped train, didn't I? It was a silly thing to do. I was on my way to have a perfectly lovely weekend with Eddington. I suppose I feel insecure, really.
In what way?
I don't trust him. He makes promises and he doesn't keep them.
So you didn't really believe that he'd be there waiting for you?
No.
Do you feel this about everybody, or just him?
Men. I feel it about men.
Look, what is all this crap? We know why we're here. We're casualties, the debris left behind after life's events. Soul-damaged people, that's what we are. Analyse the people who caused it, not us.
We choose to be here. We pay to be here. We want to be away from those who aggravate us.
So tell me, who aggravates you?
Everyone is an unsafe, unjust world.
And what about each other? How do you feel about each other?
Well, we're all in the same muck, aren't we? I mean, when you're up to your armpits in it, well, you don't argue with the person next to you.
Nobody's ever bought me anything. I mean, actually bought and wrapped anything to give me.
I was talking, do you mind?
Oh, sorry.
You're always butting in.
Sorry.
Well, we've all got problems, you know.
All right, go on.
You're always doing it.
Jesus, I said I'm sorry.
Just so happens I'd finished what I was saying.
Carry on, Dora.
When I was a kid, I got an orange in my Christmas stocking, one that had been in the fruit dish for weeks. When I was 21, I got my mother's engagement ring. When I passed my driving test, I got her eternity ring. I suppose if I get married, I'll get her wedding ring, and she's got 3 more in each hand, so that's me sorted out till I'm 60. I never got to undo a bow or tear tissue paper off a fancy box. And then today, when somebody broke the rules and actually bought me a packet of biscuits, I couldn't bloody open them!
Good. You've told us something important, something that we can work on. Lena.
I suppose I just want the ordinary things in life, really. I want a husband who actually comes home at night. A small mansion. A couple of nannies. A cook. A gold card. Little sports job. I wouldn't mind at all if he couldn't afford a gymnasium. I could always pop into town.
I want my looks back. I want my face to scramble back into the position it was in 5 years ago. With the right face, I could get all the other things I want.
You all seem to want something. Nobody seems prepared to give. Does that ever occur to you?
It has occurred to me, yes, but I don't let it get any further than that.
We've got nothing to give, have we? We're nutters. We've only got to walk down the road and people nudge each other and say, oh, look, there go those mad women from the centre.
You're very self-critical. Isn't there anything about yourselves that you actually like?
I'm very tolerant. I've been married to Gerald for 8 years and I still haven't killed him.
I'm a very loyal person. I always try and speak well of people, even that shitbag Duncan.
Mummy always said I was awfully compassionate. I always spoke to the servants. And when the gardener came for his wages, I always used to let him into the kitchen.
Well, I think you have a lot to give. All of you. And the thing to do is find the right person to give it to.
Is that for me?
I heard.
Oh, Hattie, thank you. Thank you. Oh, isn't this great? I can't believe it.
I made them myself. They're really, really nice.
It never rings. Nobody ever rings. Not since Mr. Gillespie. Not since those lovely spring days. But you were no different, were you? No different from the rest.
You have no messages.
I know, don't rub it in. You love that, don't you? You have no messages. Well, let me tell you something, you smug cow. I used to have messages. Messages of love. Messages of passion. But in the end, it was no different from all the rest.